Hello and welcome to the channel. I am here for a discussion video for you guys. Now, this is a topic I've been kind of wanting to discuss for quite a bit now, so I figured that I would go ahead and talk about it with you guys. And for this video, I'm going to be talking about what really makes a fan of a band. This is something that like I said, have thought about talking about for a bit now, so I figured I'd go ahead and why not go through with it. Now, this is, of course, just my opinion, so, don't take my opinions and just, say that these are facts, or you could say that they're facts, but I think a lot of people really do have their own take on what really a fan is when it comes to a band. But I'm going to kind of give you my ideas and pretty much what I think. So, one of the things is of course, you got to listen to the music and you got to return to the band as well. This is something that I think every fan of any band should do. I mean, if you claim to be a fan of a band, you should definitely listen to a group a lot more than just once. Because maybe there's some people that will check out an album or a band and not really listen to the band more than once. Like, they listen to them once, they claim to be a fan of them, okay, cool, they like their music, but never really go back to their music again. So that's not something that I would really say is very, fandom of some people. So, yeah, I think to be a fan, you gotta, pretty consistently go back to the band that you claim to be a fan of. Not to say that you have to go back to them like every day or, every week even, but occasionally, I think, at least. So, yeah, that's something that I think does play a factor when it comes to being a fan of a band. You got to return to the band's music, oftentimes, I guess. Now, the next thing is you got to be a fan of more than just one or two songs. I know some people that have claimed to be a fan of a band now, and they really only explore two songs and they don't explore beyond just two songs by the band. Like, they say that they like these two songs by this band and then they don't check out the rest of their work. And this could also go for that thing where some people only stick with the singles of certain bands. I know some people that are like that as well. They only listen to the singles. I know people who are like that with Metallica, Led Zeppelin, you name it. But this is something that does play a factor too. There's some people that just won't explore a band beyond their hit songs. So yeah, definitely explore deep cuts when it comes to bands as well. And I think that's something else that you should do if you are a fan of a band. You should explore the non-singles, the deep cuts on some albums, or even some rare stuff even. So yeah, not to say that you have to listen to absolutely everything to be a fan of a band, but a lot of stuff I think you should listen to if you want to consider yourself a fan, I'd say. So yeah, that's just what I think though. And I think another thing too is you got to support the band in some way. Now, this can go for anything. You don't necessarily have to go out and buy CDs from a band in order to be a fan of them. Now, yes, I do pretty much buy CDs from almost every band I'm a fan of, but that's because I'm a CD collector, of course. But to be a fan of a band, you don't absolutely have to go out and buy CDs from them. You can, download their music from Amazon Music or iTunes, if iTunes is even still relevant, or maybe even use Spotify or something. Or if you just want to listen to the music on YouTube, that works too. So, yeah, this is something that I feel like you should do. Although when it comes to listening to music on YouTube, like, that doesn't necessarily profit the band or benefit the band in any way. Besides view counts and likes and stuff, but I'm not even sure if that has any effect on the band's wealth or anything. So yeah, I'm not really sure about that, but I know that the biggest things are purchasing music, whether if it's on iTunes or Amazon Music, or just getting the CD itself, or you can go to concerts. I know that's something that a lot of bands have stated, that that's what really helps the band, is going to their shows. Sadly, I do not go to a lot of shows. not as much as I would like, of course, and even band merch as well, like T-shirts and stuff. I think that helps too. I have quite a few band shirts. You know, I got band shirts of Metallica, Iron Maiden, Black Sabbath, and a few others as well. So yeah, you know, when it comes like purchasing merch and purchasing music and just supporting the band all around, I think it's something that you should feel obligated to do as a fan as well. Um, so yeah, I think that's something that does play a factor when it comes to being a fan of a band. So yeah. And I think another thing, now this one's kind of debatable, and it's that you should not be ashamed to say that you like the band. This is something that thankfully doesn't happen too much with some people, but I'm sure there's some people out there that don't go around saying that they like certain bands because they're worried about what some people think. For example, there could be someone, you know, that's close to my age, like in their 20s or something, and they don't want to go around saying that they listen to bands like Iron Maiden and Black Sabbath because those are, you know, older heavy metal bands, and they only really want to brag about, you know, the modern bands, you know, because like I said before in a previous video, a lot of people just don't want to look like they got into this music just because their parents were into it. So, yeah. But I feel like, you know, you shouldn't be ashamed to say that you like a band if you genuinely do like a band. I think that's something that a lot of people need to keep in mind as well. And, you know, same can go for a lot of people. I know there's maybe some metalheads that don't go around saying that they like rock music or classic rock because, you know, they're not brutal enough or something, which is just as ridiculous. Yeah, I like some classic rock bands myself. I like bands like Led Zeppelin and Rush, and there's other classic rock bands I'd like to get into. So I think, you know, showing your pride for being a fan of a band is something that's not necessarily that big of a deal when it comes to being a fan, but it's something that I feel like a lot of people should really take in consideration, and something that a lot of people should keep in mind. If you claim to be a fan, of course. So yeah, there's not really much to this video, so I think I'll just leave you guys with that. So with that being said, guys, did I miss anything? Do you guys agree with this video, with a lot that I've said? Is there something else that maybe should make a fan of a band? Let me know your thoughts overall. So thanks for watching. Have a nice day and take care.